Hello there, I'm Billy Price. I've been in a wheelchair now for 10 plus years. I was a freshman in college and attending here at the University of Washington. And it was an alcohol-related injury. I joined a fraternity. There was a particular party, had my fill, and went to bed on the third floor in the house. And sometime in the middle of the night, for reasons I don't know, maybe I was sleepwalking, maybe I was like trying to find the bathroom or what, but got out of bed and ended up falling out of a 3-story window, and I broke my neck and my back, and then I became a quadriplegic. When I was on that hospital table and they told me that I was paralyzed, it was really like a bad dream that I wasn't waking up from. And I finally asked him, what's the deal? One of the nurses or one of the doctors said that I had fallen out of a 3-story window and I landed on my head and I broke my neck and I broke my back and I had a spinal cord injury and I would never walk again. It was one of those, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. That's why I'm here. But then it started to seep in, and that was when I recognized that this is not good. This is not a good injury, and this is an injury that I am not going to be able to recover from on my own. You know, when you're laying on that hospital bed, the only thing you can relate it to is what you knew prior, which is running and jumping and climbing and doing all these like crazy activities that are now very difficult to do. So as you look down that timeline for the next 10 years, whatever it may be, you really don't know what to expect. You don't know if it's going to be hard, you don't know if it's going to be easy. My parents, they're struggling with this as much as I am, if not more. I mean, most likely they're struggling much more because, I mean, their son is just, broken on there and they can't fix me. And there was a moment where I remember I was laying in that bed and my mom came up and she kind of knelt down next to me and she said, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And I said something, and I guess I was just at rock bottom, and I said this, I was like, you know something, it's not worth living if you can't walk. And when I said that, she absolutely just became crushed. I just crushed her. I mean, she was already crushed, and I just knocked her down one notch more. People are there to help you, and if you allow them to help you, and you allow your friends and family to really stand behind you and support you, and if you really believe in yourself, you really can move forward and have a very successful life. Well, I'm considered a C5-6 quadriplegic, and my injury is also considered complete, meaning that at the level of injury, which is right about here on my neck, meaning that I don't have function below that. I don't have triceps, which is the one where you can straighten your arms out. I don't have full hand function. Actually, I don't have any finger function at all. But I do have tenodesis, where I can, you kind of open your hand like this, and then you pull your wrist back, and you're able to, pick things up with your telephone or pencil or whatever. In college, I started with an engineering degree. When I went back to school, I continued with the same degree, and I graduated in 5 years. I was on the 5-year plan. It's a pretty good plan. One of the great things about the University of Washington is they are more than willing to help you adapt for those type of scenarios. I would always be able to sign up for my classes prior to anyone else, so I could always get my first choice. Also, if there were a number of classes that were spread out amongst campus, I mean like really spread out, and it would take a long time to get from one to the other, they would move the class to a different building. So you could adjust your schedule accordingly so you wouldn't have to travel very far. I graduated in 2002. I think I've adapted pretty well, and my family's adapted very well. And considering some of the places I could have been, I mean, basically turning my back to the world and just, crawling into a hole and just like, I don't know, I'm just shutting off everyone. Right now I'm working full-time, work for the Federal Aviation Administration. Everyone's always talking about how difficult it is to find a job, and I found one first try. So I think it does say something about there are jobs out there. At this juncture of my life, where I've been working full-time now for 4 years, I'm incredibly satisfied of what I've achieved and what I've accomplished. But you always want more, and there still isn't a day that goes by that I wish I wasn't in a wheelchair. But just because I wish I was not in a wheelchair, that's not an excuse to have life not continue on. So I just bought a condominium, right, like in downtown Seattle. and the goal is to be able to live there by myself. But just because I'm living there by myself doesn't mean that I'll be able to do everything by myself. I'll need to have people come in and assist me every once in a while, maybe every other day. That's the goal, at least every other day, to help with like bathroom function, whatever it may be, like getting out of the shower, maybe some help with cooking or something like that. I have two types of wheelchairs. I have one a manual chair and one a power chair. I also I drive. I drive all the time. I commute to work back and forth. I drive a Volkswagen Vanagon, sort of a hippie bus, I guess, but it has a lift in it, like a wheelchair lift that goes up and down. And I'm able to get on the lift and then get into the car, and then I physically transfer myself from my wheelchair into the driver's seat. Since you're in a wheelchair, that's not a dead-end road. Being in a wheelchair, there are a number of things you can do still, and going out and having a good time, not only in sports, but also socially with friends and family. That is still very much so a part of my life, and it can be a part of your life as well. This injury is about 90% mental, 10% physical. If you can make it over those mental barriers and recognize that you can still go out there and have a good time, and you can go out there and still be successful in life, you'll do just fine.